Major. She is planning to pursue a career in medicine, and she'll be working in a hospital to get clinical experience while doing meta-analysis research with Dr. Natalie Holt. So Nicole, want to share your screen?
Yes. Thank you guys for coming to this presentation. Are you guys able to see it? Can you guys see my screen?
No.
Oh, you know why? Because I didn't share.
Yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, does that work?
It's loading on my end. Oh yeah, we can see it now.
Okay, perfect. So, hello guys, my name is Nicole Maleeha Shad, and this is using computerized cognitive training as a potential intervention method for mitigating effects of generalized anxiety disorder in university students. It's a very long topic. It was done in the College of Humanities, Arts, and Social Sciences. And let's begin. All right, before we get started, I would like to ask you guys a question. Is there anyone in the audience that has never felt stressed or anxious throughout their education, whether it's high school, college, anything, graduate school? Have you ever never felt stressed? You can raise your virtual hands if you'd like. Okay. Well, the inspiration for this project stems from my life as a university student. And what I noticed was I was always stressed and always anxious. And one reason or another, it was impacting my career as a student because stress was leading to doing bad in classes and just, feeling overwhelmed and unsuccessful overall. So I wanted to do something that would directly affect or help me see my biggest struggle in a new, more quantitative light. So this is using cognitive training for GAD and university students. Cognitive training, as people know it as, is brain training. It's the games that Lumosity markets. It's little tasks that target specific areas within your brain for improving and heightening your everyday skills, such as attention, memory, learning, executive function, and fluid intelligence. Now, research has found that there's a very direct link between cognitive performance and anxiety levels. And so as you are more anxious or you have high anxiety, it's going to impact your cognitive functions in the brain, whether it's through chemical changes or through feedback loops. This research, however, tried to look at a less physiological aspect of the topic. And so we're going to be looking at intervention methods. The aim of the study was to apply cognitive training, or these brain games, as a possible method for mitigating GAD, or generalized anxiety, in university students. We hypothesized that lower anxiety scores via the Generalized Anxiety Disorder Survey will have a positive effect on the task performance that participants are going to be doing throughout this study. For a method, oh my God. Oops. Sorry about that. There we go. For methods, we started off with 43 participants, out of which 25 did the GAD survey. It was optional, so we were lucky to have 25 people. Anxiety is a very sensitive topic. And the population was UCR students. They provided informed consent. The mean ages were between 21, with a standard deviation of 5.4, we had 58 females, 32 males, and 0.09 that did not specify. And for ethnicity, we had the highest the highest percentage was Asians, followed by white, Native American, Native Hawaiian, and African Americans. For procedures, we started off with session 0, and session 0 is you set up your training in the Recollect app, which was designed at the UCR Brain Game Center. You can see a little logo on the screen as well. And what we do is we set up the participant with a profile, and they are assigned to 5 conditions. There's condition 1 that focuses on Recollect. Condition 2 focuses on end, back, and span. 3 on span only, and 5 on knowledge builders. This research, however, did not utilize information regarding knowledge builders as it is a control group. And so there was no way to look at their task performance improvement. And the students were given the GED survey at the beginning before they did the training, and after at the end, to get their measurement of anxiety. And it was based on how they felt between the beginning and the end of this survey. And we also included 2 additional questions asking about how they felt if they were not able to fulfill their family obligations and just having a work and social life balance. Those were some additional questions we added just to factor in our targeted population of university students. Next, you can see these pictures. These are from the Recollect app itself. We have the cancellation task, which is you're given stimuli, and based on your instructions, you're supposed to select the items selected in the instructions. Second, you see matrix reasoning, where you are given shapes and you're supposed to follow along a pattern that you're supposed to recall later on, about like 5 minutes or so. We have running span, where you are shown a stream of images and you're supposed to click them based on the order they were presented in. And finally, we have Corsi blocks, where you have forward manner and a reverse manner. There's 6 more images of games that are not listed here. However, the battery itself is an 11 task battery, and it each targets a different domain. In the results section, I have a table that summarizes. We have the inhibitory control, which includes your cancellation, the dogs and monkeys, congruent, where you are clicking on the stimuli with a dog on the same side. And then we have dogs and monkeys, incongruent, where you click opposite of the monkey. We have letter number, which is an NBAC training, where you are supposed to combine the letters and the numbers in alphabetical and numerical order. We have near transfer, which is based on you trying to remember what stimulus was represented 3 spaces back, or 2 spaces back, or for n equals 1 space back. We have simple Corsi, which was shown in Corsi blocks, and we have running span and matrix reasoning. The GAD pretest score showed an approximately normal distribution, as seen in figure 6. It was approximately normal, and these are just the pretest scores. This is what people took before they actually were able to do the training. We also used the Shapiro-Wilk test to test for normality, and based on the results, we used a mix of parametric and non-parametric tests to calculate correlation. The analysis was mainly based on correlation and scatter plots. The scatter plots in figure 7 and the correlation analysis in table 1 indicate that no single task showed a significant relationship between the GAD scores and cognitive domain task performance. Additionally, we also observed a downward trend in the p-values for the dogs and monkeys, incongruent trial, and the letter number task. For discussion, overall, it is difficult to confirm the strength of the relationship between the tested variables of GAD pre-scores and task performance given the small sample size. And for further analysis, we suggest using a larger sample size of both people taking the GAD survey and completing the cognitive training to get an adequate representation of the population, in addition to studying the relationship between the variables. We also suggest incorporating the survey throughout the 26 sessions, as it will help mitigate the noise between the data from pre-survey to post-survey, as there are a lot of variables in between this time that were not taken into consideration, which might lead to the insignificant correlation. Lastly, some limitations of this study were human subjects. The study was conducted throughout COVID, and so it was really difficult to get participants and to keep them throughout the study, as this is time consuming. It's 26 sessions, 2 sessions that are each 20 minutes long throughout the day. And there is follow-up surveys, there's a demographic survey, and there is a lot of, it's time consuming. So keeping people glued to their screens in time of remote learning and COVID was definitely a limitation. And other than that, I feel like my take from this project was, if there is a chance that I get to work on this project again in the future, given a adequate sample size, I think using a non-pharmaceutical approach to treat anxiety will encourage people from countries where talking about mental health is a taboo, or it's a topic of discomfort or embarrassment, to seek out possible treatment or just help in feeling less anxious.